we want to talk to you about something that we think is really important, and that's who's going to take care of us when we're older. Something that we all think about all the time, but we don't know the answer always. Right? So we think the best way to give you a scenario here is with a small story. This here is Walter, my friend. He's a young guy, he's very successful, and he meets a woman who's really good looking. Her name's Mary, and they fall in love and they get married. They have 2 children, little Maddie and Ella, and they go on holidays all the time. They have a really good relationship, but children grow up and they're going to college. They're starting, this guy's loving it here. They're going to college, they're starting their own family, and they're moving away from home. And now we have just Mary and Walter at home, and sadly, Mary becomes quite ill, and she passes away. And now we have just Walter at home alone. And he's going to start struggling with doing tasks, getting older. He doesn't want to be a burden on his family, ringing them every day. He starts to feel very isolated. But sadly, this isn't a scenario that's unique to Walter. As you can see here, currently we have a lot of people who are elderly, but they're still supported by a large working population who are able to take care of them in terms of healthcare and all of this. But by the time it's 2050, you can see here a huge increase in the elderly population and a decrease in the working population. This is going to lead to a strain on the economy. Something that shows us that currently in the EU, the worker pays on average €7,500 a year towards healthcare costs for everyone. By 2050, this is expected to go up to €11,000, sorry. And that's a huge increase. And it's not going to be sustainable in the long term, because this is only one increase. It's going to be in all sorts of different fields. So what have we done in recent times when we've had a problem? We've looked to technology to solve this problem. And we think that technology can work here again, and in particular robotics. It's a huge emerging field, and when we look at it here, the market agrees with us. There's been a huge increase in robotic sales and investment in the recent history, and we think that they think this is a working model. So when we think of robots, we normally think of these large industrial robots that work automated in production lines, but they only make up this very small proportion of the total sales. The rest here, if you're wondering what it's made up of, it's service robots. These are robots that assist us or accompany us in the home or in work environments to help us with tasks. The problem is they're very hard to interact with. They're still not intuitive to use. So if we were able to give Walter a companion robot that he's able to interact with in a way, he can then accomplish much more tasks at home and be much more happy. This is going to help him. He's going to have a much more fulfilling life. His family, they don't have to worry about him all the time. And society as a whole is going to benefit hugely from this. So we're working with the University of Sao Paulo in Brazil, Trinity College in Dublin, along with Trinity Robotics, which is a startup who have already designed several very versatile and very functional robots. And they see that the next step in robotics is creating a very powerful, simple, and intuitive interface that we can all use, and they'll be unanimous over all robots. This will then allow for us to have a simple base that we can work off and understand all robots with. So we've created for that the Socially Intelligent Interface, C. It's going to be able to help us around the home, help us in communicating with robots, and I will show you a small video which will show us how we intend the product to be used. We hope you enjoy the video.
This is Timmy. He's a 12-year-old boy who cares a lot about his family, especially his grandfather, Walter. Walter recently has felt very alone. He has struggled with tasks, but made him feel way less independent. Timmy, seeing that situation, knew that he had to do something. He decided to give his grandfather a personal robot. Walter felt a little apprehensive at first, but changed his mind after
explain you right now the psychological aspects behind it. Communication goes way beyond verbal aspects. Actually, 93% of our communication is non-verbal. So if we get an example like here, we're having a social interaction, like a social interface. But if you were in a conversation, we would know what time it is the best one for us to speak. It is called turn taking, which is the unspoken rule of who is going to speak next. But then, what happens if you don't follow it and interrupts the other person? Probably they're going to be a little upset, irritated, or even angry with us. And in that case, how are we going to know if they're angry? There's another very important issue called social cues, such as body language. It's all about postures, gestures, movements, and of course, facial expressions. That's basically how we express ourselves, perceive emotions, and of course, create meaningful interactions. So, considering all of these psychological aspects, we decided to create the connection, the bridge, and the interface between human and robots. And this is our head design. So, as you can see, the organic shapes and anthropomorphic features create a sense of empathy and also create more expression for the head and face. It is highly customizable since we have two screens, one for the mouth and other for the eyes. And then we can change depending on different, like cultural differences and also personal preferences. It has a modular design in the internal structure, which has made it very easy to assemble. And also, if like some part breaks, it is easy for the maintenance of that. It has a 3-degree freedom neck that makes the movement smooth and deliverable. We just figured out that versatility comes when we can portray 8 different types of expressions. And then we tested them with a wide range of acceptance. It is going from a positive state to a negative state, creating all these transitions. And that's how we figured out a way to organize all of this psychological model. It is very intuitive as well, because the social interface is the only type of interface that we have been trained since we were born, and that's why it's so suitable for the elderly. Okay, now, as said before, the aging population is a very important and serious issue in our society right now. And that's why we wanted to bring the expectation to reality. We wanted to make the robots the simplest as it could be for the elderly to interact with them. And knowing what the robot is going to do and actually making it do is going to create that bridge between expectation and reality. So, that's why we were here. We were very considering all of this issue, all of this aging population aspects that we have it, and that's why we were here. We decided we needed to do something. So we are here presenting you the future of human-robot interactions. Thank you very much.